Good morning dear students. So welcome to biology class and we were continuing about the chapter absorption by root. We have already learned about the phenomena, the 5 phenomena of absorption by roots, and in detail whatever the process, the things that are going on we have already came across in our previous video lecture. So today we will be completing this particular chapter absorption by root, and we are in class 10 and we are following conscious biology part 2 for ICSC. Okay, so quickly recapping what we have already learned about the 5 phenomena. What are the 5 phenomena that we have already learned? Can any one of you tell me? Okay, so the phenomena that we have already learned are emission, diffusion, osmosis, active transport, and turgidity and rigidity. We have already came across this term, also flaccidity, right? So today we will be learning about root pressure. What do we mean by root, and what are the pressures of root, or how does this particular minerals, nutrients, water, or these things come across and go to the parts, different parts of the plant. It is very essential and very important to understand that how do they go. See, we have already learnt about the process osmosis, that is from higher concentration to lower concentration, active transport which is from lower concentration to higher concentration with the use of ATP as an energy. Now this is the process by which these particular roots or the particular plant cell absorbs the nutrients from the soil or from the surroundings. Now how would they go upward, or how would they go from one cell of that particular root to another cell, that we are going to learn over here. Okay, so students, please open page number 47. We are following this book. I hope all of you have this book. So as I already in all my lectures tell you all that please open your book, so that when I will be going through the chapter line by line, you all can relate and can understand that what I am going to teach, or what exactly the points, or what are the important points that I am telling you all. So you please mark accordingly. Okay, so root pressure experience. If you cut off the shoots of a plant, the water pushes out from the root stump. This is due to root pressure. Root pressure is built up due to cell osmosis in the root tissue. As one turgid cell presses the next cell, the force of the flow of water increases inward. When the water reaches the xylem vessel, centrally placed vertically channel, it enters the pores of the thick wall which with considerable force. Thus, root pressure is one of the force to raise up through the stem into the leaves. See, what do you understand by this particular root pressure? Suppose this is a tree. Okay, now these are the roots, right? These are the roots. What happens? See, if I take this particular thing to be an example of a root, then there are cells which are tightly packed. There are cells which are tightly packed. See, there are many cells which are tightly packed. Now what happened when particularly water or nutrient enters from this particular position from the soil? See, okay, this is the soil. So when particularly from here it enters, this particular cell becomes what? Becomes turgid. We have already came across the condition of turgidity, or what is turgidity. This particular cell becomes turgid. When this particular cell becomes turgid, it gives a force to the next cell. Now this next cell, the force that this cell is occurring, or the force that is occurring in this particular cell, it makes a flow of these particular nutrients or water or the mineral salts from one cell to another, then from here to here, here to here, here to here, and it goes on to the upward system. Now the pressure which is exerted by the roots, is known as root pressure. Okay, this is the phenomena, or this is due to this particular root pressure that the water or the nutrients goes upward. Okay, it goes upward or it goes to the particular stem. It is just like our human body blood pressure. See, we all know that our body have particular or exert particular pressure on the capillaries and veins of our body for the flow of blood. As the same for plants, what happen, this thing goes up and this is known as root pressure. Okay, so this is due to this particular root pressure that the nutrients goes to the all part of the plant, and it is cell to cell osmosis. Okay, it is cell to cell osmosis. Now this is known as root pressure. Now another term that we will be studying here is guttation. In certain plants like tomato, grass, banana or ferns, the root pressure is high enough to force the water all the way through the stem and comes out through the end of the leaf vein. The water appears as tiny drops along the margins or the tips of the leaves, especially in early mornings. The loss of excessive water is known as guttation. So what is guttation? The water droplet that we found in the leaves, okay, or in the end of the leaves during, especially during early mornings, that particular water, it comes out from the root only. It comes from the root to the stem and it gets expelled out. That is known as guttation. Now what are the importance of root hairs and the upward movement of absorbed water and minerals? So what are the importance? See, absorption of water by the root is the means of root hairs. A root hair contains cell sap which has higher concentration of salt as compared to the outside soil water. The different sets of osmosis and outside water diffuses into the root hair. From the cell bearing root hair, water continues to pass to adjoining cell, one after another, to finally enter the xylem vessel. Okay, this is due to osmosis or due to the concentration gradient or concentration difference. Okay, the turgidity acquired by the cell in the process also helps to push the water upward through the xylem vessel. Okay, I hope this part is clear to you all. Now absorption of minerals element from the soil involves active transport by the cell. Minerals may also be absorbed as ions rather than as salts. So minerals can be absorbed as ions or it can be absorbed as salts, but it is the phenomena of active transport that helps the particular minerals to go upward. See, I already told you all that whenever there will be any upward movement, for example, I am giving you an example that we all have in our home is the electrical motor which pumps out water from the reservoirs to our tank in our roof. Okay, so whenever anything is happening against a particular force, we need to give more force to counterbalance that force. Okay, for example, water is moving from downward from our reservoir to the particular tank. So whenever we are doing that, the force which is acting, what is the force that is acting? That is gravitational force, right? It is acting downward. You have already learnt about this in physics. That particular force is acting downward. Now when we are giving much more force, we need to give much more force to counterbalance that gravitational force, and after that the force that will be remaining will take the water upward. Now see, the force that we are giving, force comes from energy, right? Force comes from energy. If we do not give energy, you cannot give force, or if you do not use our energy, you cannot give force. So in active transport, what happen? Active transport is the from lower concentration to higher concentration, that is from lower to higher. So whenever we are pulling up the water or the water is getting on the upward direction, that is due to active transport, and for that the plant need to expel energy, and that energy is expelled in the form of ATP. Okay. Now going back, the dilute solution of water and mineral salts absorbed from the soil by the roots can be used for food manufacture in the leaves, only if it can travel up to the highest point of the plant. This upward flow occurs through xylem. So we already know that what are xylem and what are phloem. Some experiments on absorption and conduction of water in the plants. So there are some experiments given here. Okay, see, the first experiment is to show that root absorb water. Okay, how we are going to see that root absorb water? See, we will be taking 3 test tubes. Okay, and I already told you that in biology whatever the experiments we will be doing with one control setup. Okay, so we took a blank test tube, there we put water, and up of the water we put some oil. Why oil? Because oil do not mix with water and oil remains floating on the surface of the water, so that we can mark the point exactly. In the second test tube, what we will do, we will put a plant, okay, a small plant, and after 3 to 4 days we will find that the level of water have decreased. Now this proves that water is absorbed by the roots, because in the control setup we will see the water remains same. Okay. Now experiment 2, to show the water is conducted upward through xylem. Okay, so how are we going to do that? A medium sized young blossom plant is uprooted, washed and placed in a beaker containing a stained quiescent solution in water. The root should be completely submerged in the solution. This setup is kept aside for 3 to 4 hours. At the end of this period, the plant taken out from the solution and washed in tap water. Then a transverse section of the root, stem and leaves is made to and examined under a microscope. The xylem vessel will appear distinct from the rest because these will be stained red by the dye. Now what we will be doing? We will be taking a particular beaker where we will be putting some colored dye, okay, and we will keep the particular plant blossom plant over in that beaker. Now after 3 to 4 hours, what will happen? When we take out that washed in the tap water and examine the root transversely, we will find that particular dye color, that colored dye is available or is shown in the xylem vessels. Now how do they, what does that prove? That proves that water is being taken up from the xylem. That is why the water contained the colored dye colored, and the xylem became the particular color of the dye. Okay. Vascular bundles, please follow page number 49, the blue box that is given. Vascular bundles in the stem, root, leaf stalk and the leaf veins are all continuous and form an unbroken system of tubules. Collectively they form the transport system throughout the entire plant. Water and salt travel upward mainly in the xylem, and food substance travel upward and down in the phloem. Now we already know that. Now what is experiment number 3? Conduction of water through xylem. Okay, see. Conduction of water through xylem can also be shown by another but dedicated experiment. Take 2 leafy shoots such as those of the blossom plants which have been cut under water to prevent any air bubble getting in. Keep the lower end dipping in water. Remove about 3 cm long outer ring phloem of the stem in one of them as shown in beaker A. Keeping the central part intact, ringing experiment is also called grilling, in other beaker B. Remove an equal length of the central part xylem after increase the stem of full thickness and keep the peripheral part intact. The shoots are then fixed to stand and are allowed to remain for about 2 days with their lower end immersed in water. It will be found that the leaves in the first week remain turgid and stand out almost normally, but those in the second week get whittled and drop down. The experiment proves that water is conducted upward in the plant through the deeper part, that is xylem. So see students, if this is a stem of a plant, so if this is a stem of a plant, what happens? The outer part, okay, the outer part is the part of phloem, okay, and the inner part is the part of xylem. Okay. Now what happens if we take a twig is a small plant, and remove this outer part, say about for 3 cm, then how it will look? Now it will look like this. Okay, now this proves that here we have removed the phloem part, but the xylem is intact. Okay, and in another one, what we will be doing is we will be taking that particular twig and we will be removing this middle part. So it will be like here, this part will be hollow. Okay, this particular part will be hollow. This particular part will be hollow. So this proves that xylem is not present here. Okay, but only phloem is present. Phloem is present. Now we will see that this particular plant after some days will have a turgid leaves, will have a particular normal turgid leaves, but here we will see that the leaves are not turgid at all and they have dropped down. This proves that xylem conduct water but not the phloems. Okay. Now going to experiment number 4 to show that food from the leaves is considered downwards through the phloem in the stem. Okay, now here we will be doing the same thing. What we will be doing? We will be just removing the part of the phloem. We will be removing the part of the phloem. Here we have removed the in previous experiment we have removed the part of xylem. Here we will be removing the part of phloem, and we will see that as food is not being transported, so the leaves will get slowly dried up. Okay. Now the last part of this chapter, force contributing to ascent of sap. Now we already know what is ascent of sap, right? So what are the forces that are contributing to the ascent of sap? There are 4 main forces which contribute to the upward movement or ascent of sap. So what are the forces that contributes ascent of sap? Okay, the number 1 is root pressure. Now, we already know all these points, so I am just summing it down. I am just summing it up so that you can make a quick notes of what is given in this particular chapter. Second one is capillarity. Third one, transportation pool. Okay, now what are the fourth one? Fourth one is adhesion. These are the force which are acting on the upward movement of ascent of sap. Okay, these all are upward movement force. So what are they? Quickly look into here. The first one is root pressure. The first one is root pressure. See, root pressure builds up, see this one, root pressure builds up the sufficient force to push the sap into the xylem vessel up to a certain height and may be enough for herbaceous plant. Okay. The second one is capillarity of xylem vessels cause the water from a lower level to rise to fill up the vacuum created by the loss of water due to transpiration from the leaves. Narrower the diameter of the tube, greater will be the height of water rising in it, exerting a force called capillary force. So what happens? See, as the water get lost, water replenish. So the more the thick, more the thin will be the capillary, more upward it will go. Okay, thick capillaries does not see, as if the capillary is narrow, okay, now it will exert a high pressure, and due to that particular high pressure, what will happen, the height will remain much more. But if the capillaries are thick, then the particular pressure will be low, and thus the height will be much lower. The height of ascent of sap will be much lower. Okay. The third point is transpiration pool. As water is lost from the leaf surface by transpiration, more water molecules are pulled up due to the tendency of water molecules to remain joined. So, the tendency of water molecules is what? Cohesion or cohesive, that is, it tends to remain joined. Okay, and thus to produce a continuous column of water through the stem. Fourth point, what is this? The last point, that is adhesion. It causes the water to stick to the surface of the cell, thus drawing more water molecules from below when the leaves lose water during transpiration. This pull of force or suction force provided by the leaf is especially important in tall trees such as pines, which do not have enough root pressure. Okay. And what is downward movement of slab? Is relatively simple. The food manufactured in the leaf is dissolved in water and it flows down mainly on the account of force of gravity. So, as I already have told you, for downward movement it is not necessarily to have or to expel energy. Okay. Water up and up molecule by molecule. All the water inside the coconut comes from the ground. As one molecule of water evaporates from the leaves during transpiration, another molecule rise up to fill its place, and this goes on in suction throughout the tall stem right from the roots. The secret lies in the force of cohesion. Cohesion is a molecular attraction by which the particles of a body are united throughout the mass. Okay, so this is how the coconut water in the coconut becomes. Okay, so this completes a particular chapter of absorption by root. This completes the particular chapter of absorption by root. I hope this chapter from the starting up till end is clear to you, and if you have any queries related any of the experiments or any of the topic or any of the subtopic, please do feel free to tell me. I am here to help you out, but please go through all the video lectures thoroughly and attentively with your book and biology copy open. Okay, so for any of the queries, please do feel to text me or call me. I am here to help you all, and on the next video lecture we will be going on to our new chapter. Okay, so thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, stay in your house, use sanitizer and mask, keep yourself free and keep yourself safe from this global COVID or coronavirus that is going around us. Okay, take care of your family. Thank you.